What do you want?
Everything.
Oh, not you. I meant them. Thanks for stopping by at 7:30.
I thought this was a
morning,
pointed
guys.
question.
Yeah, no.
I want it all.
I'm just teasing. I want to know what inspires the people to watch us at 7:30 on a Monday morning.
Monday morning.
Are you relying on us to start your week the right way? That's
I hope so.
a heavy burden to bear.
We'll take it on.
Yeah.
You know?
I guess we'll be okay.
Maybe we're an excuse to not get to the week. Let's start here, and you don't have to go to work.
Or you're watching at work. Just killing a little time at the
watching
desk.
at work.
Sorry, I'm not feeling well today. I started my day with the Today and AZ after show, and I can't come into work now.
Vanessa, you want to tell the people what happened today? Because it's a safe harbor on the after show. We can't do it.
Why?
Just tell the people.
I'm like, thanks for calling me out, Paul.
I didn't call you out on air.
I overslept today.
What happens?
Don't know what happened. So I did take NyQuil last night.
Oh, that's what happened.
Well, so that's what happened. What do you mean you don't know what happened?
No, but
Sounds like you solved
and
it.
I went to bed early. So I went to bed early because I knew I wanted,
Gotta get
the
your
fresh
NyQuil
start.
time.
Yeah, so I took NyQuil, went to bed early. My dogs woke me up at 12:30. Like, had to use the restroom. They never do that, so it was really weird. Excuse me. So I took them out, and then I was like, okay, I'm up. But I went back to sleep, and I guess instead of hitting snooze, I hit off, and then I went back to sleep. And then Jen Wall texted me this morning to give me a heads up about a closure. And I looked at the time, and it was 4:12. And I'm like, oh my God!
Yeah.
You do cut it close sometimes. 4:12 too close. We
close,
start at
yes.
4:30. That's tough.
Yeah, but I made it.
I hesitate to use the term sleeping in when it's
right.
4:12 in the morning. You're like, oh my God.
Some leeway.
That's not really fair. Like, that's not sleeping in. That's
But it just messes
being
your
a
whole
human.
day up. Like, I felt awful, and I was like, I was trying to get a head start by going to bed early, and I did my laundry yesterday, and being adults, and then this happened. I'm like,
Start
see
the
what
morning in a
happens when I try
panic.
to be responsible?
No, it's hard.
We were all living vicariously through you, though.
I know.
I wish
I slept in. I know. I would have loved that.
More envy than anything else.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
It's okay.
I
We're
made
happy you
it.
showed up. You look lovely.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Happy Monday.
Here we are.
Hold it together.
I
girl.
hope your Monday is off to a better start.
Yes.
Like, seriously.
You made it to the after show.
Yeah.
So that's really the most important thing.
You know who is not going to have a great Monday? A lot of the royal family, probably, which is actually what we're talking about on the show this morning. So the Queen herself, has called for an emergency meeting today. You think she does that via email, or she just tells a guy who tells a guy? I bet it's the
There's
latter.
a town crier.
They send a raven.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
That's how you get
There's a guy
notified.
with a scroll.
It's taken some time then, apparently, for the word to get out.
Had to get to Canada.
Yeah, this was happening last week. But anyway, we've got this emergency meeting. They're discussing the future of Prince Harry and his wife Meghan. That makes it sound ominous, like they're winning off with their heads. So this comes after Harry and Meghan announced they're taking a step back from their royal duties. They want to spend more time in North America, and they pretty much want to shirk their responsibilities.
Their
Royal
senior royal
responsibilities.
responsibilities. Yeah, right. Yes. So the couple apparently did not consult the Queen or Charles on the announcement that was made on Instagram and on their website. So a lot of questions surrounding today's meeting. One, do they get to keep their titles?
The Duke and Duchess of Sussex?
Yes. Yeah. Two, will they be able to keep their home in Frogsmore, in Windsor?
That's made up, right? That's not
Frogsmore Castle. Yeah, no, that's where they live. Because you can hear the sound of the frogs waking you up
More
in the
and more.
morning.
Yeah,
It's
you
lovely.
hear
No wonder they're leaving.
Yeah. Sick of these frogs. I'm out.
Ribbit. They're like, this sounded better on the description by the realtor than when we actually got here. And what is their pay scale going to look like? Like, what's the money situation going to be? Because, they're hoping for financial independence. And it came out over the weekend that Meghan has already signed on with Disney. She's going to be doing her first voiceover project that's going to be a charity, a documentary benefiting endangered elephants.
I mean, I knew they would have no trouble finding
Getting
jobs.
Yeah, they're quite marketable for royals, as far as royals go.
Then again, they probably don't have a whole lot of real life skills.
She
their
does.
resume is a little. Well, yeah, she does.
She was a real person.
Yeah.
Harry was, he's born with the silver spoon literally in his mouth.
He's a veteran.
Literally.
He is.
He's a veteran.
He has some war-related experience, I suppose. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't care about this at all.
I was going to say,
I'm sort of waiting on you guys to chime in.
Well, then I'll just
here.
go in. All right,
Yeah, dive into these waters.
All right, we're gonna get out of here.
You guys are both on this.
I know. So today, it's going to be. I'm dying for it. But I love that the Queen has just called the gentleman in the room. Let's keep Meghan's going to be on speakerphone, but we're not bringing the wives in. We're not trying to complicate this because, sometimes when it comes to a mom and her sons, you just got to work it out, hash it out, keep the wives out of it. And there's a lot today that was coming out about the rift between Harry and William, and the fact that a lot of that's being stoked by the British media. They're making it worse. Obviously, the British media is terrible, terrible, terrible. Like, you think our tabloids are bad? This is literally nothing compared to what these people have to deal with. And, you know, not all Brits love royals, period. So
it's always the media's fault.
Blame us.
Well, it doesn't help. I mean, and that's why I went and read the Duke and Duchess of Sussex's entire statement on their media plan moving forward. And I think if you read that alone, it's very telling. Because basically they're stopping the whole, apparently there's like a chain of command whenever the royals release anything. There's like certain British media that get the information first and always, and they get their podium for press, conference, whatever they're doing, it's always set. And they're like,
fair.
We don't want that. We're not going to do that. We want more independent journalists. We want up-and-coming journalists. We want factual people that they have deemed to be factual and more fair to them. So it's just interesting. You read that alone, you're like, man, they thought this out. It's not like a 2-sentence memo.
Nope. We have people chiming in. So Jennifer said, good for them for living their own lives and not doing what the royal family wants them to do. They shouldn't have to ask to move. She put LOL after that. Tony said, if you were famous, would you want people all up in your business? And other news, mind your own. They don't talk about you.
Yeah, fair enough. I'm happy not to talk about it. Here's the thing with the royals. I won't pretend to understand the intricacies of the monarchy, but just from a human point of view, I'm with that commenter. Right? Go do your thing. Don't live tethered to some ancient text or some ancient rituals and feel like you have some obligation. But financially, I do understand why they're tethered to the monarchy, because that's sort of like their role. Like taxpayers pay for their crap, so. It's a little easier said than done to just break away. Let me ask you a question, though, and to the two of you who follow this sort of thing. Do you think that there's a possibility that this could harken the beginning of the end of what is already a very ornamental position? Like, there is really no utility to the Queen and her people. It's not like it's actual government. They're not ruling over anything. Yeah. It's mostly a title, and that's it. Yeah. Like, do you think this is the breakaway? Because I can't see in the year 2200 us paying homage to the Queen and King. That sounds ridiculous, doesn't it?
I feel it's a major shift in modern royal history. People will remember the day that they put out their release in decades to come. But it also seems that like other European royalty apparently have already started going this way, because it's just not practical in real life.
2020
experience.
Yeah.
So I think that this is, they're young, they're contemporaries, and he's sixth in line. He's literally got nothing to lose. Yeah. So I think that they're able to take this, but I do think this is going to go down in history as like the beginning of the lessening of that title of this head of a country being the Queen.
It's certainly a very disruptive move. I mean, this is disrupting
the
disruptors.
Norm.
Yeah. And you know what, though? It's interesting to me, and it strikes me as, I hate to bring up a war, but, I mean, this is why America was sort of founded in a way, as we look at these comments, and this is like our ideals held in America are more like have some freedom, do your own thing, get your independence. And why did our ancestors come to America to begin with? You know what I mean?
Colonialists are not huge on that whole concept.
To get away from that in Great Britain,
British colony.
I'm not trying to give a history lesson here, but I think that that's a very interesting thing to talk about. Is just the ideals that we hold near and dear as Americans, different than they have in Great Britain, and it started a war. It's what I mean, and so this is not odd to me that we have different feelings than they have, and it also is really tough for us to comment on what they should and shouldn't do because their ideals are founded. Not only are they older, but they're just different. I mean, that's why we're here and they're there.
It's not just us. The dozens of other countries that have sought sovereignty from. The British
tried to bring
owned everything at some point. Yeah, but also I think it brings up an interesting point, and that's that like it's unique for these guys because their mom was Princess Di, right? So they have this adversarial relationship with the media in the first place, and the scrutiny and everything that comes along with the trappings that come along with being a royal.
They've lived it.
And I think that they've had this disdain for quite a long time. This is an opportunity to sort of break away and do something else.
And they haven't been shy about that.
No,
I mean,
they
how
haven't.
many times did Harry say, like, before the engagement?
Yeah.
I don't want my wife to go through what I saw my mom have to go through.
Right.
And I think that's what's important to remember. A lot of people, you know, when you look at the headlines, it's Meghan, it's Brexit, Mexit, it's all these different things, and it's easy to blame the wife, right? Yeah, super easy. You have to remember, Harry has been rebelling for as long as we can remember. From the time they made that poor boy walk behind his mother's casket and told him not to show any emotion, that boy has spent his entire life fighting against his heritage, right? And whether you want to call it childhood rebellion, his college days, his party days, whatever he's done has always been to go against it. Fortunately, I think for him, he's found a wife who's a partner, a true partner with him, who understands. And you have to remember, if she was super into just the money and the fame and the title, why would she want to walk away?
Her lips would be sealed. She'd be sitting in that palace.
She'd be like, no, honey, let's just sit here for a while in our little Frogmore Castle and enjoy the food. But
I don't have to voice over for Disney. I can just live right here.
She doesn't need the money. So it's, you know, she's walking away for a lot if you want to look at it that way.
These are real ideals. I mean, again, we don't know. We don't know
We have
them.
no idea.
I have no idea what they're going on.
We just looked at
These seem to me like they're real ideals because he obviously loves his country. He served his country. And this is, and from what I've seen, and there were several stories where he's got a friend who's in the media that did an interview recently, and he said the same thing. He loves Great Britain, but this is just an ideal thing. This is what he believes in, and certainly here in America, I think we applaud people who go after what they believe in, in a non-violent way. I mean, here's the thing: is like this is not.
There's no victims here.
There are no victims. Yeah, it's just a matter of like disrupting the norm and. Again, here in America, I think that's applauded far more than it probably is there.
We have a lot of people.
What you got?
In. So Peggy says, I wonder if Harry and Meghan discussed this before they even got married. Personally, I don't blame them for wanting a more normal life. However, I guess royalty has some obligations. But yeah, on their first dates, like, did that stuff come up?
I bet you because remember, before they were engaged, when they were just dating, the media had already started some racist comments about her and her family and this and that. And remember, he put out the big statement at that time, and William was in line with him at that time, protecting Meghan as someone that he was dating and just fell in love with. So it had to have come up somewhere along the way. But I would hope they would say, you know, okay, let's give it a try. They only tried it for 2 years, but I'm like, well, maybe it was just that bad.
So real quick to the people in the comment section who are saying that like it's none of our business.
It literally isn't.
Yeah, totally
It
agree.
literally isn't.
Yeah, I don't think any of us disagree with that.
And they don't care what we think.
But also just as a caveat, the reason that this gets the attention that it gets, I mean, these are public figures, quite literally public figures. Their lives are paid for by the public. So like, not that they want the spotlight specifically, but the spotlight is unfortunately for them very much a real part of the monarchy. And the taxpayers pay for that right to be able to criticize them publicly. So while I agree that it's none of my business what these two want to do with their lives, and if I never heard from them again, I'm happy for them, you know, this is also something that people are talking about, and the comments sort of speak to that. You guys are going crazy.
There's people going crazy, yeah. So Patricia says, I can understand why they want to be free from the media, but man, I'd love to be a royal. LOL. She goes, Meghan was the Hallmark story come true. Isn't that true?
Walter says it'd be a shame if Harry found himself alone in a few years, saying that these Hollywood romances never last. He calls Meghan a movie star. I would hesitate to go that far. I don't think she's a movie star.
She was a television star.
But even that, star is a very strong...
She wasn't like A-list. She wasn't like a Jennifer Aniston.
She was someone who was in
like
some
that.
things.
She was in Suits. She was the deal of the day.
I mean, Vanessa's a movie star by that account.
She was in like a commercial, wasn't she?
Wait, but I watched Horrible Bosses over the weekend because it was on TV, and I think she made a little cameo. She was like a delivery driver or something, and she was there, and I'm like, is that Meghan Markle?
She was like an up-and-comer.
So let me ask you guys, if she starts making cameos in like big budget films, like are you going to geek out when you see her, or is it going to be like, oh, Meghan Markle again? Why did they have to put her in?
I would be pro.
You're pro? Pro cameo?
I'm all more Meghan Markle FaceTime, yes. Did you see where Harry was talking to the head of Disney when... I'm like, isn't this cool? And your husband's like just chatting with the head of Disney while you're talking to Beyonce at an event at the Lion King premiere in London. And Harry was like, hey, you do know that she does voiceovers? And the guy was like, and he's like, oh, you seem surprised. No, she'll do voiceovers. Let's see what we can get done. That was a while ago. And he was the one doing it. She's just talking to Beyonce. Like
anyone with a voice.
And their connections are the reasons they'll have no problem being financially independent. Like that, I don't even know why that keeps getting brought up. It's like, who cares? They are already going to be able to make more money in their first job than most of us.
They're not going to be doing any urban camping. I'll say that.
Right.
Well, his low end, if you want to say his low end worth is $25 million. That's his low end. His high is like 40. So I think they're going to be okay.
Goodness.
Yeah.
Can I just have their life for one day?
I know, like, don't walk away so soon.
Careful what you wish
Are you
for.
doing it in haste? I don't know.
What do you think? This was the most interesting detail to me. It kept getting brought up. What do you guys think about Meghan showing up on the phone? Do you feel like she needs to be there?
No,
In this particular
She married into it. And now, this is not a sexist remark by any stretch for me, but she married into the family. So she's kind of an outlaw.
Yeah.
This needs to stay within the family. So I'm okay with her being on speakerphone.
Yeah.
I'm glad she's included in some capacity. Because if
Yes.
she was left out entirely, I think I would have a problem with that.
I think, when you have issues with in-laws, it's always best to let the immediate family handle it. It never goes well having an outlier, whether you're married into them or not, in the mix chirping away, because that's how, some people hypothetically may have been in this situation. So it's best just to let the family do it and be like, I'll be here in Canada, call me when it's over. I don't even know if I'd be on speakerphone, frankly. I think it's something that just needs to be handled.
Yeah, that's
by the
what
family.
I think. Is I don't know why be on speakerphone at all, because
wouldn't be.
how many meetings have you all been, like conference call meetings where like someone will go in and be like hit the mute button and then start talking shit about the other person and be like say that and then be like,
I want to see the
they can't hear us
transcripts.
right now. You know what I mean? Like, do you expect that to actually happen? Because there's going to be, like, we're not going to actually see this. I
No,
think.
right, and that's why
And, like,
I want to be on
is
the
the
call.
queen going to be like,
Some transparency.
like, she said this, and then
Like,
like go
where's
back
the
to
I don't think
royal
the queen presses the button. She
recorder?
has
I
someone
want-
else press the button. Yeah.
There's got to be someone
button
there.
guy, the guy with the gloves, hit the button.
Like,
They
who's
should
taking
make this
notes?
like a live thing, like go in there live and we can see what's happening. That would be amazing.
Can't wait for this episode of The Crown.
Yes.
Oh, my gosh.
Cool.
Episode 70, or season 72, whenever that comes out.
Exactly. But the Crown producers keep saying, oh, we're not going to make it to modern times. I'm like, are you foolish? What is
now
it?
they have so much better material than they had before.
And that VH1 show, I Love the 60s, would never make it to modern times, too, right? Yeah, no, they got there. All right, time to take a quick breather. Let's get to ICYMI. In case you missed it on Today in AZ this morning, this was the thing that happened.
Whoever guesses this wins the game. Here we go. Name Popeye's favorite food.
Chicken! Oh my God!
It's the confidence dance.
Who
that's
doesn't
the
love
best.
chicken?
I think it's a generational thing.
Yeah.
So that was the answer that cost Eve Dubois and her family $10,000 on Family Feud Canada. So the moment went viral, of course, because the answer was obviously not chicken, but spinach. So yes, she lost the money, but you know what? She's like confident and fabulous. She had a full shimmy going on. But they're saying it's kind of a generational thing. Like, how many people in their 20s know Popeye the Sailor Man?
It's an iconic character. How do you not know that he eats spinaches to get strong? Come
More
on.
people are talking about the Popeye sandwich, I guess.
That's where she got chicken from. I was
Totally.
wondering where chicken came from, because I don't think you ever ate chicken in the cartoon show.
Never saw me chicken, but I want to know, what were the other 7 answers that were up on the board?
Because only 54% said spinach. Yeah.
That is true. Isn't it funny how automatically she thinks chicken, Popeye? Popeye,
I think that's
chicken.
what we were
Popeye's
saying.
chicken.
We're like, can you
Exactly, yeah.
imagine? You're just trying to hit the buzzer. The guy barely gets the word Popeye out, and she's like on it.
Chicken.
It was, and it's funny, it's the way the question is worded, too. What is Popeye's favorite food? In your head, in that moment, I could hear you understanding the question as, what is your favorite food from Popeye? Chicken. Yeah, and it was the dance and the way her
she was
her hair
so
extensions
dance.
were flapping behind her.
Like, I got this.
Oh my gosh.
I got
She was
the
like,
answer.
I knew it. But the best, she turns around, whips her hair around to the family, and they're like,
Yeah, they're like,
Have you guys seen the turkey one? The turkey Family Feud guy?
No.
So, like, if you love goofing off on Family Feud, this is the video for you. So this is a long time ago, but it always crops up in those, like, classic game show mess-ups. The guy gave the answer turkey to 3 straight questions in Family Feud. And it was like in the final round where you have like, a couple seconds to each to fire off an answer. And it was something like, name something that you would expect to find at Thanksgiving dinner. Turkey. And then it's like, name something you bring to the beach. And he goes, turkey? And he goes, name something you'd put on a sandwich. Turkey.
hey, that one worked.
Yeah, 2 out of the 3 were okay. I don't know why you bring turkey to the beach, but yeah.
You never know.
That's outstanding.
My first question question to you guys. I'm like, where's Steve Harvey?
It's the
South.
Canadian family feud.
but-
That's who that guy is.
Yeah, below the borderline.
I know.
I don't know, like, and I've never been a part of any game show like that, but I feel like we can never judge these people
No.
without putting ourselves in their shoes first, because that would be
There's
so
pressure.
hard.
Pressure.
The pressure, and you've just got your hand
Split
on the button,
second.
and like you said, the first thing you think of Popeyes is what's been in the news,
Right.
chicken.
Word association.
So it's
Yep.
not like. I would hope that maybe she knew that wasn't the right answer, like later on thinking about it, but none of us can judge until we've
Oh my
actually
gosh, no
been
way.
in her shoes.
My family tried out for Family Feud.
Did you?
Yeah, and we made it to like the last round before. Actually, we made it. We were supposed to be waiting for a call, but I don't think it's ever going to come in. But we do know that a family here in town has made it on there, and they recorded their
That's
show.
awesome.
Yeah, so it'll be airing soon. But anyway, so when you're in there, even trying the audition, during the audition process, you just have like your adrenaline's rushing. You're so nervous. Everybody else is in the room, and you're watching other families go through it too. And it's just like crazy answers just come out because you're like, oh my gosh, I'm waiting now, let's go. And then you want to have energy, and then
You gotta be a personality.
Yes, yeah, and then if somebody already took the great answers before you, and you still have to answer the question, it's like you start thinking of random things.
Yeah.
So
You just
it's
gotta get
a
on the
crazy
board.
Experience, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Remember that there's been a lot of these, but the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire guy who polled the audience, and the question was like the first question of the game, and it asked like, it was like how it's like the determination of power in an automobile. Like the answer is horsepower, but like the other answers were absurd, like zebra force and like. And the guy didn't know the answer, and he like pulled the crowd, and it's like, oh my gosh.
This is bad. I wasted that one.
Yeah, it's definitely
100%
zebra
say
force.
horsepower.
Yeah.
People are talking about Popeye's chicken.
I still haven't had one, by the way.
No,
Same.
I did. Evelyn says, love that Popeye chicken girl. Hire her. Lucinda said KFC next ad promoter.
Yeah, great advertising.
Oh, yeah. No, there's no doubt that with how far this has gone, because I saw this before this morning on the internet, there's no doubt that she'll get some sort of endorsement deal. off this whole
She's
Get your Popeye's chicken. She sold it. I mean,
she did sell it. That
And-
was pure confidence.
Yeah, based on her act there, she deserves something. I think. I mean, she's clearly got some charisma.
It's like
Maybe we get her here on the after show.
Yeah, right?
That would be cool.
It's like we can't afford to pay for it, so if you're watching it.
But we'll give her free
It
chicken.
wouldn't be an endorsement deal.
Yeah,
but-
right. It's like that question, like, well, what does a cow drink? Milk? Water?
I know. See?
All right, guys, we're out of time. We hope you find some chicken today at some point. I wish that for you. I wish that journey for
Lucinda's
you.
eating chicken right now.
Oh, look, go stop by Lucinda's
Jealous.
place.
Gosh, what time is it?
It's time to go. Time to leave.
Chicken
All right, have a fantastic Monday. We'll do it all again tomorrow, and I'll be on time.
Chicken.